Hello and welcome to 0 to 60 Motoring once again. My name is Bill. Now, today I'm reviewing the 2015 Outback BS9. Now, the Subaru Outback basically is a car that is, I could say it's not that common, especially compared to other Subaru cars, but I am glad that it's gaining popularity in the Kenyan market. Now, the Subaru Outback basically, I could say it's built on the Subaru Legacy platform because if you can see, it's I could say it's a station wagon with a good ground clearance, that is. Yeah. So welcome to this video and watch it until the end such that you learn more about the 2015 Subaru Outback BS9. So welcome to the interior of this Subaru Outback, and there are a lot of things actually to talk about this interior. First things first. So coming from the previous generation to this one, Subaru adopted many things. In this generation, actually, most of the Subarus are coming with an electronic parking brake because it's a button. I'm not a big fan of these. I'm used to the traditional ones. Now, next to the electronic parking brake, we have this X mode. Being an all-wheel drive car, this X mode actually is very important, especially when you're going off-road. Yeah, I'll talk about the powertrain and the drivetrain when I'm doing the engines. So apart from this parking brake and the X mode, we also have the hill descent control button here, which basically is a very good feature, especially when you're going on steep places. And then from my position, I have these two cup holders here for the driver and the co-driver, of course. Storage wise, there is this glove compartment. It's massive actually. It can keep your luggage. You have this gear shifter, of course, and then on this front we have, I think, two USB power ports actually to charge your phones so you don't go offline. The seats here are actually, they are heated electric seats because this one is for the co-driver. You have this one for the driver. The infotainment screen, I think in this trim level, this is the premium trim. This, I think it's 6.5 inch, and it gives you many functionalities. One of them is reverse camera, infotainment. You can play your videos there. Yeah, I think that is all. I think, and then we have this dual zone air conditioning system from in this dashboard. In the highest trim level, that is the Grand Touring, you get a better infotainment screen, a bigger one, of course, with I think better clarity. Yeah. So from the driver's seat, this actually car comes with a lot of features. So let's start with the steering wheel. Now on the left side of the steering wheel, we have these buttons, plus, minus, and SRC. Basically on this side, it's the control for the media. The plus, you use it to increase your volume of your music, that is. The minus to reduce, X to mute. And you can also pick and hang up your codes on this from this steering wheel. Yeah. So coming to the right side, we have the cruise control setting. This car actually comes with the adaptive cruise control. So the difference between this adaptive cruise control and the normal cruise control we have in other cars is that this car can maintain a safe distance between it and the car in front of you, basically being helped by the collision mitigation system. Yeah. So apart from the cruise control button and the media control on the steering wheel, we also have these paddle shifters behind this car. This car actually comes with a CVT transmission, but in case you need a little driving spice, these paddle shifters can help you mimic an automatic transmission. That is, if you want to switch, I could say, to switch gears faster, though this car has a gazillion number of gears. Yeah. So that is all about the steering wheel, though it's also telescopic. You can push it downwards, upwards to your level, depending on where you find it comfortable. Yeah. Apart from the features on the steering, we also have these features on this side. Starting here, we have this engine start system to tell you this is a push to start car. Next, we have this memory with a memory icon with on the tailgate. So these this car, the tailgate, the door is has some memory settings. You can set it to some level such that when you open it, it opens to that level. Yeah. Next to it, we have this is the button to open it. Of course, on the downside, we have this off with a car on that shows the front and the rear of another car. So basically, that is the collision mitigation system. This car can maintain a safe distance between it and the distance and the car ahead of you. Next to it, we have these lane assist feature. So lane assist works this way. This car should maintain its lane. In case you are veering, for example, if you are dozing off and you are veering to another lane, the steering will vibrate to alert you that you are veering off from your lane. Next, we have this off button. It's basically work with the engine start and stop. And then we have this traction control system to give you maximum grip in case you are on slippery terrains. Yeah. Now, this car comes with electric heated seats. You have these buttons here for adjustment, of course, and because this is the premium trim, this on the driver's seat, these seats are they have memory settings. You set them to some level, and then next time when you hop into the car, you can either press 1 or 2, and then the seat self adjust the position which you put it last time. Yeah. Now, practicality is a big issue for someone shopping for a car, for a crossover. This car is not a crossover per se, but then you could class it there because it's within that price range, and the engine size is almost it's the same level with many crossovers. So about spacing on this driver's position, you see I have massive leg room. This is the farthest you can stretch this car back. So for tall drivers, you won't have any problem with the leg room. The headroom is also pretty decent, I can say that. And that same scenario applies to the co-driver's seat here on the left side. There is a good amount of space. No one will complain about comfort issues, especially on long distance travels. Yeah, that said, let me check the practicality of the rear seats. Now, checking the practicality of the rear seats of this Subaru Outback. Now, Subaru designers were very generous, especially when designing the Subaru Outback. Check this amount of headroom. Check this amount of legroom, maintaining the same driving position I was in. If someone is short, most probably they'll stretch the seat towards the front, so you'll still have more and more room, especially on these rear seats. So it's pretty comfortable, especially for long distance travels. Now, the rear seats of these Subaru Outback are also heated, such same case as the front ones. So to give your backside some good feeling. Now, in case nobody is seated on this middle seat, you can actually lower this rest to use these 2 cup holders for your drinks, of course, in this backside. Now, this seat also, on this we have these child seat anchor points to help you install the child seat without much problems actually. Now, assuming you're seated on this rear seat, and then it's not as comfortable as you want, this Outback gives you an option of moving it, reclining to the back, so that you can feel like you're seated on your couch in your home. So as you can see, you can note where I'm giving this car a very good rating. Matters practicality and comfort, especially when it comes to accommodation. Now let's talk about the boot space or the cargo room of this Subaru Outback BS9. So this specific trim comes with an electric tailgate. Of course, you just press it, and then it will electronically open itself up. Now, I started by giving Subaru designers a generous 10 out of 10. Matters the legroom, matters the practicality of the seats. Now, I could still maintain the same rating, especially when it comes to the designing of the boot. This boot space is actually one of the biggest cargo rooms you'll get in a mid-size crossover. It's not a crossover per se, but then yeah, it's way better than what you find in many crossovers, of course. Now, in case this boot space is not enough, you have some more room down here. It's normally reserved for the spare wheel, but this car doesn't come with a spare wheel, so that's a downside. But on the flip side, you get more room down here. You have this sheet here to give you some privacy in case you have luggages here and you don't want someone from the outside to check them. It is also a boot organizer, of course. Yeah. So now, in case this trunk space is not enough, I want to show you how you can easily turn the Subaru Outback into a pickup. You get like pickup like space. So all you need to do is to remove this organizer, and you remove this here. That way. Now you can use these controls here to lower the seats. They normally fall down in a 60-40 split. Now check that amount of room. It's I could say it could rival actually a pickup, but this one, the good thing is it's covered. Subaru Outback spacing, passengers, driver, boot space, a generous 10 out of 10, and I bet most of you will agree with me on that. So let's talk about the engine variants of this Subaru Outback. Now, the Subaru Outback BS9 2015 model is actually offered in 3 engines. This is the most common engine. This is a 2.5 liter naturally aspirated Subaru Boxer engine. It makes around 175 brake horsepower and 245 Newton meters of torque. Now, this is the most common engine. I've said that. There are other engine options, of course. There is a rare 2.0 liter turbo diesel, especially if you're getting a car from the UK, it's pretty common there. Now, there is also a bigger engine than this one. It's mostly in the Australian market, but I've seen quite a few on our roads. That is a 3.6 liter, also natural aspirated roads. Now, this 2.5 liter normally aspirated engine is paired with a CVT transmission, or if you like, continuous variable transmission. It sends power to all the 4 corners of this car, because this car comes with a symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Actually, one of the best drivetrains one of the best all-wheel drivetrains in the market. Yeah. So this is the base engine, of course. If you want more grunt, you'll step up to the 3.6 liter. That is the 3.6 liter, but it's kind of heavy on the gas. Yeah. So even for this 2.5 liter engine, it can also be heavy on gas, because the fuel economy on this, the fuel figures on this car will be in the range of 9 to 11 kilometers to the liter. So it's still a little bit on the higher side compared to most crossovers, because it's a younger sibling. The Subaru Forester is offered with a 2 liter turbo diesel turbo engine, or a 2 liter normally aspirated. Both are petrol engines, but this is the base engine, 2.5 liters. Yeah. Now, what is the verdict? How does this car stack up with other cars I could say in the crossover segment, especially? Now, the price point of the Subaru Outback starts from 2.8 million. That is for the BS9 base model, and it stretches up to 3.5. Actually, I've seen units going for up to 3.6 million for the highest trim. Now, that could be a little bit on the higher side, but currently car prices are on the rise. For example, the younger sibling, the Subaru Forester, that is the SJG, that is the turbocharged version, is going for 3 million, actually 3.2, 3.3 million. So people may shift their focus to this car, especially if the crossovers will stretch to the 3 million mark. Yeah. Now, this car will check your boxes if you want something that is practical, especially on the space, and I can say the driving dynamics of this car are way superior than most crossovers, because these cars are long wheelbase, and it has a 2.5 liter in its base model, so it has a good amount of power. Of course, the driving dynamics are more of a car. It's a car like driver, not a crossover like, because of the long wheelbase, and the drivers I could say are lowered sitting position. The Subaru Boxer engine is also one of the, it's also better, especially when it comes to stability on the road. The drivetrain, that is the symmetrical all-wheel drivetrain, is the best all-wheel drivetrain in the market. So if you want something that can take you in the forest and most importantly bring you back home, you will consider the Subaru Outback, basically because of the powertrain and the drivetrain. I think that is all you need to know about the Subaru Outback BS9 2015 model. Yeah. In case you need more information about this car, I think I've written a review of this car in the past, in last year, but I'm going to write another one. Yeah, so you can check the social media platform, that is 026 Motoring, on Facebook and Twitter, of course. And remember to subscribe this channel. That's the only way you can help it grow. Yeah, a lot of more motoring content coming up, guys. Bye until next time.